Hello and welcome to another interesting episode of the Reflection Series, a series where we listen to stories that recharge and rejuvenate us. And today, again, we are here with you with another interesting speaker who's going to share with us about fearful to fearless. We have BK Brother Kumar. Brother Kumar has been practicing and teaching Raj Yoga meditation since 1985. Currently, he is based in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, and has been organizing activities for the Raj Yoga Center for the past 10 years. And professionally, he works in the information technologies field. Brother Kumar shares his personal journey today about how he overcame the two tigers, as he calls it, of fear and anxiety, and his experience of becoming fearless from fearful. So, without any further ado, let's hear Brother Kumar's personal experiences. So, a hearty welcome to the program, Brother Kumar, and it's over to you.
Okay, thank you, Lara. And allowing me a platform to share my experience. You know, I've been doing meditation almost 40 years, and during this journey, I've come across many people, many students, and they sort of gripped by fear, and they come to a point where they find they're not able to do nothing much and all consumed by the fear, including myself. And after many experiences in being in journey for a long time, and I find the solution is very simple. And I'll start with a simple story. You know, it's a story from a very Buddhist tradition, and it says that once upon a time there was this monk, and this monk was going deep in the woods, and on his journey he saw a tiger and encountered a tiger, and he was like in fear. And when he was in fear, he ran and he ran as he ran, and he came to a cliff. And then when he looked down at the cliff, he saw another tiger, you know, and so that's what fear does. And he saw another tiger, and in between the cliff and the tiger, he saw a grapevine. He jumped down, catch hold of the grapevine, and he was eating grapes. And that's the solution. And let me explain what does all it mean. No? The first tiger means the kind of fear that goes in life. No? It could be a business, shocking encounter. And when we have fear, we always run from it. We always run from it to a point where the fear consumes us. And then it comes to an edge, to edge where you can't run away from it. And after that, what happens when the mind goes into fear and is consumed by fear? It is sorrowful. It goes to a phase of darkness. You see what happens when you go into fear? The mind goes into a mode of overthinking. When you go to overthinking, it loses all your spiritual energy and you start to think a lot. And overthinking brings your mind into a phase of confusion. And in that confusion, you just don't see any solutions. And ultimately, you go into that darkness, and and the and the tiger that is down the valley is basically the fear that you have in your life that comes in a form of a hallucination or dream. Like for example, let's say your fear of snake. You see a snake, your fear of snake, and then and you think about it. As you think about it, it consumes you, and there'll come a point of time where you even imagine there's a snake, even it's not there. No? And that's what fears does. You allow it to run your life. No? And the solution is actually it's a grape. And what does a grape means? Enjoying the moment. If you learn to be at the present, and the energy of the present, the happiness of the present doesn't allow the fear to consume you. Otherwise the energy of the fear consume you. And see, this is how the mind works. You see, when the mind is weak, And when we are in fear, when you look at a problem, the whole problem looks like a big mountain. And the moment you see that big mountain, you just want to run away and hide from the problem. And that's what happens when you go with a very low state, confused mind. But when you are in a state of happiness, a little bit of happiness, the same problem, you feel as though you are on top of a mountain, like a helicopter view. You have the problem, you see the situation, but you're not consumed by it. You can go back, sleep well, eat well, and that's because the event it becomes small. You see it small, and you know you can solve it, and you just take your time. So our state of mind changes the way we look at a problem. When we're happy, it's different. When we're in sorrow, it's different. No, and that is what the grapes represent. Try to find joy at the moment. It could be anything. Sometimes painting, sometimes cooking. The joy of the moment allows you to what they call not to be consumed by the fear. In doing so, you tend to find solutions. You tend to find answers for the answer for the problems that we have. And so that's what we do. A lot of my students will come and they're consumed for it. And I tell them, try to find some joy in life, and eventually they'll come out from the situation. They'll find that, yeah, they can come out of fear, and don't allow the fear to consume them to a point where you're overtaken, overtaken by the fear. See, and in my own experience, I know once, you know, I was riding a bike, and I was, I was, I was holding a handbag, and I was snatched. The handbag was snatched by a robber. Although there's nothing lost, but I went to a stage of shock, for a few months actually. And within that period, a lot of bad things happened. I lost my passport, I lost my camera, I would drive my bike, I would go into a wrong lane. And that's what fear does. It creates a kind of confusion. In a way, it also brought me some bad luck. Somehow I attract situations of that of fear. And I would sometimes a lot of go pass by a car, like it'll give me a shock. I will just go into a state of shock. So that is one incident that happened to me, and the other one that because I drive bike a lot, and the other one is once I was riding a bike, and what happened? I braked too hard and I fell. I fell and I was slightly hurt, and I was hospitalized for a few days. But that's the road I take every day to work. And each time I would pass by it, my whole body would shake. But I had to confront it. I had to pass. And after some time, it's over. So sometimes fear is like that. You have to face them, confront them until you're not consumed by it. See? But as I advance on my spiritual journey, as I have better with the understanding, and I learned to find um, different solutions for the same problem. And looking at my student, I had one very interesting student, and she had fear for worms. The kind of worms you know that you find in food and all that. She had fear that kind of worm. And one day, both were walking to a center, and we were walking in a straight line, and she was right at the back. And what happened? We all passed by, and there was this like a caterpillar, the worm form on a branch. And the moment she passed by, it just fell onto her, and she was just screaming. And there was another instance. I was cooking something in the center, and then what happened? I was just distributing, and there happened to be worms in the eggplants that I was cooking. And then what happened? It all ended up in a plate. And I was just thinking, it's very interesting. When you are in fear, you just attract things that you are fearful. And so that's what fears that does to you. You attract and you become more engulfed in a situation that in a state of mind is. And along the path, I found this solution. The best way to overcome is to feel good about yourself. Sometimes it comes in a form of self-esteem, self-respect. The more you understand yourself, it gives you a kind of power that you become fearless, courageous. Like for example, to give a talk 20 years ago, I would not have done it. If I was in front of God, my whole body would shake. I would panic, you know. But I learned to overcome it. I learned to say, hey, I'm just giving this talk for the benefit of others. Whatever I'm saying, in fact, let me go beyond. So with a little bit of knowledge, I learned to overcome any kind of fear. And so in the same way also, I find a lot of my students who come, they have fear, and we teach them a little bit of knowledge, how to overcome it goes a long way. See, and there was a point of time I was riding bike and all that, and each time there was this particular bike I was riding, and it would just stop. It would just stop, and then I had to push that bike to some mechanic. And when I went there, yeah, he's able to solve the problem immediately. It was just a spark, but he put it back and it was done. Then I was thinking, because along there I was thinking it's an old bag, I need to get rid of it. But when I knew the solution, and each time I encountered the same problem, I knew what to do. Because of that knowledge, I was able to go through the same bag and without worrying, I knew I had the solution. So in the same way, when the mind finds a solution with the same problem, with the same situation, you're able to face it. See? So spending a little bit of time knowing yourself, thinking about it. For example, let's say someone insulted you. When someone insults you, you don't want to meet them. You don't want to meet them. You just want to avoid them. And I used to do that. I used to avoid people. And then you just spend some time confront I don't want why don't I want to meet that person? You look within yourself, you find you're ashamed, you're shy, you're afraid of rejection. You know, when you talk to yourself like that, the power of talking to yourself is such a great power. You can solve a lot of solutions. People talk to plants, people talk to animals, and they do well. You go to a psychologist and you talk to a psychologist and you get healed. In the same way, when you learn to talk to yourself, you're just telling your mind, it's okay. It's okay. You can face the situation, and the mind needs a closure to the situation, and you just tell the mind what to do during that time. And so that is a very simple solution to overcome. It does take time, but we just keep talking to each time you encounter a situation. Remember, I was telling you about my bike accident, and each time I would go into that path, I would have a fear, but I would talk to myself. I'm done. Now I'm better. As I talk to myself, and over the days, I learned to overcome the situation. You see, so talking to yourself is one good method, and the other method is, as I said, through meditation. When you learn to meditation, you learn to see yourself in a different way. You learn to see yourself beyond that body. And when you learn to do that, you sort of have a kind of a detachment, and that detachment gives you a strength, a, a strength of being brave, a strength of being fearless. And so that's in your mind's eye. You're looking at yourself beyond this body, and the strength that comes out of it is fearlessness, because you're not afraid of losing the body. And so that is one practice that you gain through meditation. See, and let me share you a very interesting. It's quite bizarre what the power of fearlessness does. See, I live in Cambodia, and sometimes I come across monks, and they share their experiences and their meditative tradition. And I met one this interesting monk, and he used to tell me, he said, way back, long time ago, there used to be a lot of monks who used to travel all over the world to spread Buddhism and Buddha's teaching. But and there were occasions, they would just go to some part of the world, not only to preach when there is a plague, and there was some sort of disease, and these monks would go there to help them. But before they go there, they would prepare themselves. They prepare themselves to become fearless. And they would go to a graveyard, to a mortuary, and so that they can conquer fear, And they have this understanding that when you are fearless, you sort of create a kind of a aura or a magnetic field, that even diseases can't touch you. And that was the practice, And I found that very interesting. I mean, I leave you all to the truth of the matter, but this is what he told me, when you become fearless, you create a kind of shield, and it becomes very protective of any kinds of disease. Okay? So I thought, in Kung Fu tradition, they have this understanding of chi, and it sort of can push matter or people, by your internal energy. And people say it's a kind of a magnetic energy. And that energy comes when you are fearless, not brave, not courageous, but fearless. No? So that's the power of fearless that sort of what it calls radiates from you and it gives you the energy. And this is what the power of meditation, seeing yourself as a soul. No? When you see yourself as just pinpoint, it gives you that energy to become fearless and you're not worried about that. You just see that is just another transition. And when you learn to conquer that, you learn to become fearless. Yeah. And also when you are fearless, your mind goes into a phase where you can feel ahead. Remember I was telling you we have problems. When you're conceiving of problems, we sort of don't have a kind of fast cycle. Like for example, let's say you're sick and then the doctor tell you you're sick, but then sometimes you get this feeling, I think I will be okay. You have this feeling, and based on that feeling and this faith, you recover. So in the same way, also sometimes when you have problems, you have this feeling that you feel you will be okay, and then you will be okay based on that feeling. You see, and this is what happens when you learn to become what you call fast like. When you learn to become happy, it gives you a feeling that you can see ahead of things, ahead of time. And that comes from the power of self, what we call power of meditation, which basically comes seeing yourself in a positive way. Like I struggle with this. Oh, sorry, I struggle with this because for a very long time, I had a very bad relationship with my father, and I didn't feel good about myself, you know. But when I learned to understand myself better through meditation, and I felt good, a lot of good things happened. I learned to become brave, I learned to become courageous, and ultimately fearless. And and fearless means I remember I had one motorbike accident. I was riding fast, and sometimes you go down a slope, and you're trying to beat the traffic light. But in my corner of my eye, I saw a traffic police. So I brake hard, And then what happened? I skidded. I let it down. I skidded, and then what happened? Like in my mind, I wasn't even shocked. Nothing happened. I took the bike out, and then I just drove. And then I thought, wow, I've reached a long way. You know, by by just practicing, understanding, and seeing myself. Yeah. So then these are some of my experiences that I have in my journey of meditation and seeing and teaching others. So I think that's some of the things I just wanted to share.
That's beautiful. And I'm sure there are many in the world and who have different kinds of fear. Some for a very long
Yeah.
time, some don't know when it started, and some may have developed it, during the course of their life for whatever reasons. So it's a very
Yeah.
interesting uh, understanding to check within what is happening when we, experience that fearfulness. And as
Mm-hmm.
you said, train your mind
Mm.
to maybe face it or think that it's going to be okay.
As I said, the solution is just simple. Just talk to yourself, try to understand. And your mind is like a child. When you talk to your child and then when you understand, you sort of give it a kind of what we call it destination or solution. It'll be okay, and that itself it's a great relief. You can overcome a situation. And fear comes in many forms, loss of business, and the thing that it does the most, you lose clarity. When fear comes, and then imagine you're driving a car, and then something, suddenly something blocks your windshield. You can't see, then you go into fear.
Just should be some of our thoughts. Uh, like say, if I have fear of dogs and a dog comes running towards me, uh,
Hmm.
it's like I will go through that feelings of fear when I see that uh, animal coming towards me, running
I,
towards me. What do you think should I practice so that
I,
I can maybe change over time?
I have a very personal experience with this. When before meditation, I used to be stressed, and I'm sure I emitted a lot of fear. And after meditation, or I used to pass by this lane, and all the dogs will just bark at me. No, will just bark at me, and I didn't like it. And after many years later, and I went back, they were sort of silent. Even a dog came near me, he sort of didn't react, pass by. You see, so it has to do with your energy, your own fear. I feel as though dog smells you, smells your fear in you, and they react. You see, and the moment you what do you call, you sort of aggravate them with your fear. Then that's my feeling. Even now, yesterday I was passing by this thing, and then I saw a dog, and nothing happened. I can fight. Otherwise, earlier I would just switch lane. With the dog, you say I would go another lane. And before that, I used to talk to myself. It's only a dog. What can I do? You see, So talking to yourself, or sometimes you go to worst case. What can happen the most? Only one bite. It's okay. I can handle it. No, you see. And then by talking to yourself, you change your mind from fear to accept the situation. See. And the other thing that happens, and I tell these solutions to my friend, and they understand in a wrong way, and they come with some financial situations, financial crisis, and after a few months they say, I'm worst. I'm not as better than before. I say the solution is not supposed to make you richer. If that was the solution, I would have been a very rich man. No, it's supposed to bring clarity, so that you can see things better. And then and the solution could be a very simple thing. Maybe you have done something in your previous life, or birth, that you feel it's a kind of a return. Sometimes that is the solution, and then you accept it, and then you move on. And that is the solution.
Yeah,
So
very interesting. Thank you.
uh, yes.
Yeah,
So
so
yeah,
it's been
carry on. Sorry.
no, I was just saying it has been a very interesting conversation with you, Brother Kumar. And yeah,
Mm,
like it is a very deep topic and we could, go on for a very long time. But uh,
mm.
as we have time constraint, I think
Okay,
we,
very
we,
good.
we will take this opportunity to further experiment with whatever we have gained so far. And I'm sure with all the different solutions that you have provided, our viewers today will also, go back and see which one they can apply to whatever fear they have. And over time, I'm sure they will become fearless, as you say. So
Yeah,
thank
I
you
think
for joining us.
and my last word is no matter what, just be happy.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay.
That's
And
really,
thank you for the. Mm.
thank you. So thank you, Brother Kumar. And now let's have a few moments of meditation. So meditation gives us a beautiful experience of connecting with the divine and feeling that energy so we can bring changes in our lives. So let's have a few moments. Thank you very much. And also thank you to our viewers for joining in today. And if you would like to know more about us, please do visit our website www.brahmakumaris.org.au. It is flashing on your screen right now. All our locations and the events and programs are all put up on the website. So please feel free to book in and join or visit the center if you like. So thank you once again for joining and all the very best to overcome all your fears and become fearless. Have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you.